today we had a Zoom class and we made these adorable books that we made today from our papers that we made yesterday. So we did a mixed media class in part 1 of this video and learned how to make stamps and stencils, and then created one-of-kind papers. And then today we created books with them. And I had promised that I would make video for those that couldn't make it to the class and post the replay. I went to edit it and I found out that I did not press record. So, since I love you guys so much and I don't want you to miss out on something that I love doing, I am making this new video for you. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that if you have any questions that you won't hesitate to ask them. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy this. Paper that we made from part 1 of this video series. This is a 2-part series. These are the papers that we made with our stamps and stencils in our mixed media. So I'm going to look at these and I'm going to pick my favorite 2 papers to be my cover, or I'm looking for things that I really like. So I really like this rainbow. I might want that on my front cover. I also like this tic-tac-toe board, so I don't want to lose that. So I'm thinking, and I like, this is my favorite page. I want that to be my cover page. And so I don't know, let's see which of these I think goes better together. I think that these 2 go together the best, so I'm going to keep those 2 and for my covers, and these ones for my inside page. So here I've cut 2 pieces of mat board the same size. I didn't give exact measurements for this project because I figured that each project is going to be different depending on the hard cover that you find. Alright, so I'm going to check and I'm going to see what I want on my cover, and I want this this rainbow to fit on my cover, so I'm going to kind of pull back the page and see how much, because I'm not going to use this whole entire page. So I'm going to scoot that up. Okay, so we are going to need a ½ inch from the border, so I'm going to draw around this to give myself an idea of how wide to cut borders. And then I'm going to use scissors. So this does not have to be a perfect edge here because we are just going to cover over this edge. So as long as you have enough edge to where you can wrap it around and glue it and have some left over, then you're doing great. So we are going to put this down and we're going to fold the edges in like so. You can use cereal boxes, you can use noodle boxes, macaroni and cheese boxes, or cardboard. if you want to be really book official, you can use book board. There's actually acid-free book board, and that would keep your books lasting longer. Once again, if you're being official and making book boards or books that you want to last forever, then you would use PVA glue. But for our purposes, we are going to use Mod Podge. Actually just a Play-Doh roller, but you can use a brayer or a bone folder just to make sure that that whole paper touches. I love this part of the process. I think it's because it reminds me of wrapping Christmas presents, the way that you tuck in the corners. And I love wrapping Christmas presents. So this is one of my favorite parts of the bookmaking process, is creating the cover. Here I'm wiping off the glue on the board because you have to be really careful not to get the glue onto the cover. We finished the front cover. Now we're going to make the back cover, so we're going to do the exact same process. Awesome, we have our front cover and our back cover, and now we need something to put in the middle of the book. So we are going to create our center or our text block with copy paper that's folded in half. It's a little bit too long, so we need to trim the bottom so it doesn't hang over our book covers. So I have folded 5 pieces of copy paper in half. Copy paper is just the paper that you put in your printer. And I find that you can't really do more than 5 or it will start to make the edges not even anymore. So 5 is about the max that you can fold together. And now I'm just checking. You'll notice that at the bottom or where the paper is folded, it's going to go flush with the front cover. All the other edges have about 1/4 of an inch. It's about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the covers. Now that we have our text block trimmed, we're going to open up the pages to the middle crease line. We're going to mark each end 1/2 inch in, then we're going to find the middle of those points, and then we're going to find the middle points on each side. So we're making 5 dots total so that we can poke 5 holes where our needle's going to go in and out to sew the text block together. That's an awl, but you can also use a push pin if you don't have an awl. I'm using my bone folder to press the crease so that all of the pages stay together, and then I'm going to poke the holes. Here I'm just showing you how you're going to do it, but really I'm going to put it on the carpet and poke it all the way through so that I get a really good hole. So I'm going to use embroidery floss to sew, but this is what real bookbinding thread looks like, and it's covered with a wax. We're going to take the end and do double the length. So we've started on the outside of the book and we are just sewing. We're going all the way down and then we're going to go all the way back up. So by the time you're done, you're going to have a straight line of thread, and then we're going to tie these ends off at the top where they meet again, and hopefully you have a handy little helper that can help you to hold the knot down so that your string can be really tight. You want to get it as tight as you can without tearing the paper. Now that we have our text block sewn together, we're going to measure how thick the spine of the book is going to be so that we can cut a piece of cardstock the exact same width. 1/8 inch sliver. We need to pick the tape that we want, and I just bought this from, I think I'm gonna go with a red one. So this is just duct tape, but if you want to be official, then you can buy bookbinding tape. This is definitely the hardest part of this whole process. Try to stick that on the middle as best you can. Okay, so last time I did this, I actually put my cover on backward. So decide which way you want it to go. I want that one to go that way. That's my front cover, and this is my back cover, and this is the way I want it to go. So check one more time before. Then we're gonna put this cover on.
Now what are you supposed to do?
I'm gonna line it up.
Now what are you
so I put the middle piece of paper in, and then you'll notice that I left a little gap about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. I probably could have done it actually a little bit bigger, maybe 1/4 of an inch gap between both covers from that middle piece of paper. Okay, so now we have our inside papers, and we're gonna fold them in half. But we're gonna fold them in half so that the right side, the correct side, is on the inside. Same with this one. If you don't have a bone folder, then you can use a ruler. And press it out with a ruler. Okay. We need to make sure that they are the right size. So they are the right size that way, but they are too long this way, so we're just gonna draw a mark along the edge. Not the edge I want to trim off, definitely the edge I want to trim off. Alright, now I'm going to put glue just 1/4 of an inch from where we've sewn it, from where our spine is, so that we can glue those cover pages on. I really want to be careful not to get glue anywhere else so that our pages don't stick together when we open our book. Here we're gluing the cover page on, and we're gluing the ends where we've folded it together. So when we open it up, you're going to be able to see that beautiful print that we made. So when we have that all glued together, we can either clamp it, or we can put heavy books on there. So then we're gonna let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to come back and put some more duct tape on the cover. I like my bookbinding tape to be a little bit wider, just a personal preference. I like the way that it looks better. So I'm going to put more duct tape on both sides of the cover. I tested the insides and I like the way they fit, so now I'm going to put my handy little piece of wax paper in between. I'm going to put glue on the cover, and now we're going to glue the book together. Taking skewers like you would use to make kebabs, and I'm going to put them on the ends of the spine to shape it, and then I'm going to put something heavy on it while it all dries together. I left it there to dry, and this is a few hours later, and I'm going to open up the book and see how it all turned out.